Today, we're going to dig into a company that might just be writing the rulebook for our green future, NextEra Energy. They're an absolute giant in the energy world, and the big question we're asking is, have they actually cracked the code for how to do this? I mean, think about it. This is one of the biggest challenges of our time, right? Shifting the entire global economy away from fossil fuels. That takes a staggering amount of new infrastructure, new tech, and a whole lot of money. So how does a single company even begin to tackle that? Well, it turns out NextEra's secret sauce seems to be this kind of hybrid model. It's almost like they've got two completely different companies working under one roof, blending the old with the new to get this incredible edge. Let's dive into what that really means. To really understand how NextEra got to where it is today, we've got to rewind the clock a bit. You see, this global leader in renewables, well, it started out as something much, much simpler. Yep, way back in 1925, this was just Florida Power and Light. You know, a classic state-regulated utility. Think predictable, stable, and honestly, probably a little boring. But fast forward to today, and it's a totally different beast. Now it's an energy powerhouse, a key player not just in keeping the lights on, but in actively building the energy grid of tomorrow. So how in the world did they make that jump? The secret is really in the company's structure. It's almost like NextEra has two distinct personalities, two different sides of its brain working together. Okay, here's how it breaks down. On one side, you've got Florida Power and Light, or FPL. This is your classic utility. It serves over 5 million customers in Florida, and since its rates are regulated, it just churns out incredibly stable, predictable cash. It's the company's defensive backbone. But then you have NextEra Energy Resources, or NER. This is the high-growth, competitive monster, a world leader in wind and solar, building massive projects and even pushing into new frontiers like green hydrogen. And this brings us to a really great way to think about their whole strategy. Imagine FPL is the heavy, stable keel of a ship. It keeps the whole company steady and upright, no matter how choppy the economic waters get. Meanwhile, NER is the giant sail, catching the huge winds of the energy transition and propelling the whole thing forward at incredible speed. It's this powerful combo of stability and growth that makes them so different. So let's look a little closer at that giant sail. NextEra Energy Resources isn't just a player in renewables. It's an absolutely dominant force. They've built a true empire. Seriously, just let that sink in for a second. We're not just talking about the largest in America, but in the entire world. The sheer scale of their operations is just staggering. And that scale, well, that's their secret weapon. So how do they keep that edge? It's this really powerful self-reinforcing cycle. First, their massive size gives them huge economies of scale, which just means they can build stuff cheaper than anyone else. Second, they lock in their customers with super long-term contracts. We're talking 20, even 30 years, which makes their revenue incredibly predictable. And third, because of all that stability, they can borrow money at really low rates, which lets them just keep reinvesting and getting bigger and bigger. Now, when you combine that stable utility keel with that renewable growth sail, you end up with something pretty special, what a lot of people on Wall Street have started calling a growth utility. I mean, this is a category NextEra basically invented for itself. You get the safety and the sleep-at-night reliability of a traditional utility, but you combine it with the exciting upside of a business that's right at the cutting edge of a technological revolution. It really is the best of both worlds. And here's what that actually looks like in practice for investors. Your typical run-of-the-mill utility might grow its dividend by, say, 3% a year. Pretty standard. NextEra, on the other hand, has been targeting around 10% annual growth. That's a huge difference. This model doesn't just deliver stability, it delivers significantly higher growth than all its peers. Okay, so that's the model that got them here. But what does the road ahead look like? NextEra's future is tied to some of the most powerful trends on the entire planet, but it's not without its risks. There are three massive tailwinds pushing that sail forward. First, the global energy transition itself. The world needs what NextEra builds. Second, electrification. As we all switch to electric vehicles and build more power-hungry data centers, demand for electricity is just soaring. And third, battery storage. You know, to make a renewable grid actually work 24/7, you need giant batteries. And yep, NextEra is a leader there too. But of course, there are headwinds to think about. Like any utility, NextEra uses a lot of debt, which makes it sensitive when interest rates go up. There's also regulatory risk. If policies change down in Florida, that could hurt FPL's profits. And finally, let's be real. Building billion-dollar energy projects is just plain hard. There's always a risk of delays or things costing more than you thought. So let's zoom back out. When you put all these pieces together, why is this one company so important to watch? Well, it matters because this isn't just another energy company. It's operating at this critical intersection of a massive shift in our economy, in technology, and in society itself. At the end of the day, NextEra combines the bedrock stability of a traditional utility with the explosive growth of the energy revolution. This unique spot makes it a critical partner for governments trying to hit their climate goals, and it makes it a bellwether for the entire future of energy. It's a company that is somehow both powering today and building tomorrow all at the same time. And that leaves us with this one big question. The clean energy transition is going to cost trillions of dollars. The challenge isn't just the technology, it's finding a business model that can attract all that money and actually build stuff at an incredible scale. So, is NextEra's hybrid growth utility model the blueprint for how it all gets done? That's the multi-trillion-dollar question.